Good day, everyone. I'm Samuel Olatayo Ajayi from Basira View Consulting. We are in this presentation, we are out to do a sales analytics where we review the selling activity of our client, Dr. Lairo Investment Nigeria Limited, and its subsidiaries. Okay. The objective is to, one, see how to improve cash flow. Then two, to point out financing priorities. How did we approach it? We approach it by looking at debtor turnover rate, inventory turnover rate, ranking system of both debtor and inventory turnover rate, prioritization index that points to a rating system for their performance across those two indicators, after which we used it to decide the financing priority. We believe strongly that if our recommendation is followed, it will help us and help our clients to optimize its working capital. Sales outlook. When we look carefully, we will see that the total sellouts January till date. January, the sellout was 1.9, February 1.6, March 1.2, April 1.1, May 1.5, June 1.3, July 1.4. Okay, totaling 10.2 billion naira and averaging 1.4 billion naira. When we check the cash collection 10.267 billion, averaging 1.466 billion. So when we compare both the sellouts 10.246, 1.463, and cash collection 10.267, 1.466, it points to the fact that the average cash collection is higher. The total cash collected January till date and the average cash collected January till date is higher than sellout. Now, if these two indicators, if they are lower than sellout, it is a red flag. Now, this outcome is proving that in as much as we always need, okay, to collect whatever we have, whatever goods that the sales team has sold to the customer. We might need to improve the situation of our cash collection. We might need to put in more aggressive efforts, okay? But we are not in a worse state when it comes to recovery efforts. We can see that the cash collected so far, total cash collected so far, is higher than what had been sold. So it means that the team must put effort progressively to keep pressing and watering down their receivable. Then on receivable, the receivable is pointing to the fact that when you check at every point in time, the maximum receivable that we have is 327. The least that we have is 135. Okay, there is 131. 131 happened to be the least, and it happened in April. So under whichever guise, we also understand that we also work on the receivable list and we put some sanity to it in collaboration with the management team. All right. So as it is, this is pointing to the fact that the average receivable that we have is 195.5 million naira. Now, this average receivable is pointing to the fact that our receivable is around 2% of our sellouts. 2% of 195 million. This is average. All right. Let's go to sellouts. Let's go to sellouts. Average sellout 1.4 billion. Are we together? 1.4 billion. Receivable 195, almost 200 million. So that reports around 2%. 2% or thereabouts of whatever be the sellout that we have made. So what could be responsible if there is if the real-time sellout, real-time cash collection, if the real-time sellout, if the real-time receivable, if it looks this impressive, then how come that we're having high stock holding? We're having high stock holding based on our ordering pattern. If we endeavor to order much more earlier into every new month, I think that that is one factor that will improve on our stock depletion efforts. So we can see that surely the money will come in, but we need to be more assertive, knowing fully well that the money will come in. We need to be more assertive in ensuring that we proactively work on our selling across the priority units that we have. Then on inventory, when we do a check, we will see that our average inventory is at 2.3. Average inventory. We are maintaining an average inventory of this is million of 2.3 billion naira. 2.3 billion naira. Okay, so what does this tell us? It goes to tell us that total sales, when we check the total sale is 10.2 billion. 10.2 billion. Cash collection 10.2 billion. Can you see that the cash collection, the real-time cash collection is close to the real-time? It's even slightly higher than the real-time sellout. Then receivable 1.3. So when you check 1/10, 1.3 billion. That's around 1.3 billion. Okay, then let's move on. And inventory, we are keeping an average inventory of 2.37 billion naira. 2.37 billion naira. This is thousand, this is million, and this is billion. 2.37 billion naira on as average inventory. $2.37 billion naira as average. 2.37 billion naira as average inventory. So when we do that check, we will discover that our stock holding is high, and critical to it is our ordering pattern. Then here we are looking at the inventory turnover rate, debtor turnover rate ranking. debtor turnover rate ranking, inventory turnover rate ranking, prioritization index, and positioning. Okay. On the inventory turnover rate is pointing to how quick, talking of stock offtake, how fast the offtake of the stock, how quick do we turn over our inventory. The debtor turnover rate is talking of how fast do we collect our money from our debtor. Okay, then you see this inventory turnover rate, the higher the better. Debtor turnover rate, the higher the better. So we did a ranking of both. So the ranking of the inventory turnover rate is what we have here. The ranking of the debtor turnover rate per unit is what we have here. And prioritization index is the average of both. And what did we discover? We discover that on both inventory and turnover, Nestle does better. So if we put money in Nestle, we get our money faster. This is not about emotion, it's what the data presents to us, January till date. Number 2, MBD and WAMCO. They are both tied on number 2. How? On inventory turnover, WAMCO sells fast. They sell their product faster than Kogi. Yola sells faster than Kogi on WAMCO. But Kogi collects its money faster than Yola on WAMCO. You can see it. So when we check it across these two indicators, when we rank it and average it, they are both tied on 2. I repeat, Kogi collects its money faster than Yola. Yola sells faster than Kogi. Then on PZ and Aspira, Aspira comes 4th, PNG Kogi comes 5th, PNG Yola comes 6th, and Cadbury comes 7th. So when we check across board, this outlook is pointing one thing to us. That number 1, we are selling an average. We are selling an average of 1.463 billion per month for 2026. We are achieving cash collection of an average of 1.4 and a minimum of at least 1.1 billion naira in cash collection per month for 2026. Receivable at every point in time, we're on average of at least 195 million naira on receivable. People are owing us at least 195 million naira per time when it comes to average. How did we arrive at that? We pick the value of the receivable at the end of the month. And that value at the end of the month, pointing to the fact that at the last day of each month, customers owe us at least, we are maintaining debt level of at least 195 million naira per month. Yes, this value is being watered down eventually into the new month. But as at commencement of month-end reconciliation, we are being owed at least 195 million naira by customers. We keep an average inventory of 2.3 billion naira per month as at the last day of each month. Each month, January till date, we've been maintaining inventory of at least 2.3 billion naira. On prioritization, when we look at both inventory turnover rate and debtor turnover rate, we discover that Nestle does better, MBD follows, WAMCO is tied with MBD, Aspira follows, PNG follows, PNG, Kogi and Yola, then last on the log is Cadbury. So across many parameters that we looked at, certainly, Cadbury is performing least on the log, while both MBD and WAMCO, they are running so fast to catch up with Nestle. Okay, they are running so fast to catch up with Nestle when it comes to offtake and cash conversion. Running so fast to catch up with Nestle along when it comes to cash conversion and other parameters. So effort is being made, and we are so pleased at the final outcome and the results. There are rooms for improvement, and we believe that things can only get better and better. The hard copy of this report will be made available as need arises. Thank you very much for your time.